Waypoints. Waypoints will cover all aspects of navigation for the overland traveler. Navigation is the act or practicing of navigating, the method of determining position, course, and distance traveled.
Last week, we took the first steps on creating a journey. We created a list of possible events to attend. We noted areas and regions with possible back roads and trails, took into account possible camping options, and loosely strung together routes to get an idea of how the trip could possibly go. This week, we choose an actual route, fill in our itinerary, and discuss keeping the ability to be spontaneous even with an itinerary. The route. We've chosen a southerly route to reach our Overland Expo East in Arrington, Virginia. Events we've decided on are the following: Overland Expo West in Flagstaff, Arizona, Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Overland Expo East in Arrington, Virginia, as you already know, and finally, Rendezvous in the Ozarks in Arkansas. There's enough time between events to take a leisurely route, and camping is a non-issue for the dates I'll be attending each event. Here's how camp reservations give me more freedom to be spontaneous. I know it might seem counterintuitive, but follow me. Let's look at the first event I plan to attend, Overland Expo West. I always make a formal reservation at a nearby campsite for the day before the event. Now I can do whatever I want, and if other plans don't work out, or I just get involved in something that leaves me no time to find a campsite, no matter what, I have my reservations to fall back on. I do this all across my route, and it averages out to an additional $200 a trip, but it's worth it to me. I'd hate to discover a beautiful place for a sunset, but I gotta go because I have to find camp. My plan is to use farmers markets to resupply as much as possible. The reason for this is farmers markets in the places I go usually are places I can park my rig and be able to visually see it while I shop. The other reason is I can get quality vegetables and meats usually, organic, very fresh, and cheaper than if I went to a grocery store. That's a win-win-win. Farmers markets that I have on my radar are the following: Moab Farmers Market in Moab, the Flagstaff Farmers Market in Flagstaff, Rail Yards Market in Albuquerque, New Mexico, Franklin County Farmers Market in Arkansas, and Bardstown Road Farmers Market in Louisville, Kentucky. In Nashville, Nashville Farmers Market, and Eastern's Market in Washington, D.C. In Marquette, Michigan, the Downtown Markers Farmers Market. And finding smaller farmers markets along the way is never a problem. It's just a matter of stopping. So as is, I think we have a pretty good trip. We could stop here, but we have a long way to go. Next week, we get to the good part. The entire segment will be about finding trails, byways, and back roads on our trip. If there are any questions or insights you have about what we've discussed so far, please feel free to let us know down in the comments. Let's answer some questions I've received this week. A viewer asked, do I need a fridge to start overlanding? Well, for the impatient, the answer is no. You do not need a fridge to start overlanding. Now, I would make fun of this question, but I've heard too many people ask that question, and the responses are all over the place. Some agree with me and say no, and others say you're not even a real overlander till you get a fridge. Yeah, I've really heard that. Well, this might be news to you, but some overlanders travel the world and have no way to keep food cold at all. They stick to dry goods, meals ready to eat, preserved and smoked meats, and fresh meats and vegetables every few days at farmers markets. But for most people to enjoy their journey, having some way to keep food cold for preservation is a must. A decent cooler can do just that, and for a lot less money. The cost isn't the only benefit to a cooler versus a fridge. Most overlanders, no matter what, pass through towns frequently enough that a cooler is all you need. You won't miss that fridge unless you plan weeks at a time somewhere off the grid. There's been many times we've discovered the perfect spot for fishing, a meal, or a cold beverage, but it necessitates leaving your vehicle and walking to the spot. It can be done, but I'm not disconnecting my fridge and hauling it out into the elements for that. But a cooler, that would be excellent. Being able to shop for fresh meat at a farmer's market and transport it safely back to a fridge could be useful. Now, don't confuse this for saying don't buy a fridge. I have one, love it, and wish I'd purchased one sooner. But I went years without one and had many memorable experiences with several different coolers. Getting out there and enjoying the journey should be the priority, not waiting until you've created the perfect dream rig. You have to get out there and do something to even know what your dream rig really is. If you go the cooler route, my recommendation is YETI. YETI, in my opinion, has set the standard for cooler tech, and because of that, there are now many quality competitors out there. I prefer YETI because I know what I'm getting with every single product they make. It's going to be tough. It's going to look good. It'll have a warranty to back it up. Now, there's a lot of companies with warranties, but what's the process if something goes wrong? YETI has great customer service to make that warranty actually worth something. And will that other brand even be around next year? I've seen them come and I've seen them go. So that's a crapshoot in my opinion.